Hi, Nicole here with the Live New channel. We're gonna do some healthy grilling using some non-traditional grill vegetables. We are doing fire roasted fennel, radishes, and jicama. So let's have some fun. So let's dive into the ingredients of this healthy grilling. The first is we have jicama. Jicama is a root vegetable that is low in calories, sugars, and fats. It is a great alternative to potatoes because it's lower on the glycemic scale, which means it's really good for those that have diabetes or are following a low sugar diet. We have onions, radishes, and we want to make sure we hold on to the tops of those radishes because they're full of antioxidants and are really tasty. We have fennel, which is part of the carrot family. We have some seasoning from salt and pepper. We're going to use some chicken broth to add some moisture when we're grilling, and then we are going to be using Walden Farms balsamic vinegar. Walden Farms products don't have any sugars, calories, or fat, and they're a healthy alternative, especially when you're wanting to really focus on watching your diet. Then we have some Pam spray, which also doesn't have any calories. It's a great alternative to butters, so we're going to use that to help with our grilling today. Now I'm going to show you how to prepare some of the vegetables in case you're not familiar with them. So the jicama, what you want to do is you peel it. And I just used a regular vegetable peeler and took that skin right off and then cut it in half again. So what I have remaining is just one piece, and I'm just going to easily slice it here and then cut it into some cubes. This way it'll help make sure that it can grill a little bit faster versus if it was larger pieces. So I'll go ahead and stick that over here. Next we have our radishes. Now the radishes have little tails on them and little tops where these stems were attached. But I went ahead and took that off. I'm just going to take this part off as well as the little tails and throw that right in there. So radishes, I've recently stumbled upon roasting them and grilling them, and they are delicious. Again, not something I traditionally did, so I want to make sure others are aware of how tasty this vegetable can be. Onions, of course, we just are going to cut up. You want to cut it in a half and then a half again. And in these, we're going to try to get 8 pieces total out of all these to make sure they're nice, evenly sized. And again, we'll cook at a good rate once we put them on the grill. So those all ready to go. And then fennel. If you're not familiar with fennel, it comes as a bulb attached to the stems here with the fennel fronds, as they're called. With fennel, there is a hard piece in the middle that you want to make sure you get out before cutting. That actually is so hard I can barely even get my knife through it. So the way to do that is you take off the bulb and you cut off the bottom and the top, and then you are going to flip it over so you can see where that middle center is, and you're going to cut a triangle in it. And you're just going to take out that particular piece of it. So here we go, it's coming out just like that, and you'll discard that piece. And then you turn it over and we're just going to slice it into even slices. So I'm going to toss that in there. So we got our onion and fennel together. And then I remember when I said keep those tops of your radishes, they're right here. And what I did was I just washed them and then spun them in a salad spinner to make sure they're clean, because radishes have a tendency, the greens, to be a little gritty. So now what we're going to do is move out to the grill and get grilling. So we're out at the grill here. We've turned it on and we're going to be preheating it. We've turned it on to high, and our goal is to get it up to the 400 degrees. So we've got a little bit of ways to go until we do that. So while that's working on it, I'm going to mention we do need a grill basket for this recipe. A grill basket is an easy way to put in the vegetables. So we're going to be layering them on and cooking them at different times. We're also going to be able to shake it up to make sure that everything is grilling evenly. The first vegetable that's going to go on at high heat for about 20 minutes is the jicama. So before I put the jicama onto the grill, I'm going to drizzle it with some of the beef broth and sprinkle on some of the salt and pepper. The next thing we'll do is we're going to turn down the grill to medium heat, roughly 375, and we're going to put on the fennel and the onion. And we're going to allow that to grill with the jicama together for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're going to toss on those radishes, and I'm at that time going to add some more of the beef broth and salt and pepper, and that is going to all together grill for another 10 minutes. And then we're going to be shaking it as we go along to make sure everything is evenly grilling. After that, we're gonna head inside and put it all together. Jicama is the first vegetable we're gonna start with. I'm gonna put it here in the grill pan, just like that. And I'm gonna sprinkle it or drizzle it with some beef broth. You can use vegetable broth or chicken broth. Any of those are going to work. This again is a very healthy alternative to oil to add a little bit of moisture. Then we have some salt we're gonna sprinkle on the jicama, generously there, and some freshly ground pepper we're gonna put on. And don't need pot holders at this moment because this hasn't been on the grill yet. We're gonna shake it up. Gonna open this up and stick on my jicama. And again, this is gonna go for about 20 minutes, but we're gonna monitor and be shaking up as we go along. Start the timer. So the jicama has been on here for about 15 minutes. We're gonna take a peek. I've been shaking it. This was about 2-3 minutes ago. You can see here it's grilling up nice and neat. And one thing I'm gonna do real quick is add a little bit more Pam spray because I noticed it was sticking before, and that may be because I neglected to include that the first time. So thankfully, I'm gonna move this over here. And what you just heard was the beef broth that was on there. I'm just gonna spray this real quick. Move these around here, and this will help make sure it doesn't stick anymore going forward. So get that around here. I'll move this around here. Okay, perfect. Next up, we're gonna add the onions and fennel. Great, now we're gonna add the fennel and the onions. I'm gonna just go ahead and spread this out a little bit and layer on these here. Oh wow, that looks tasty already and hasn't even grilled yet. Break them up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and just add a little Pam spray to these real quick. And the same thing applies. We are going to be putting it on the grill and then going to be shaking it up periodically. So the onion and the fennel, along with the jicama that's still in there, it's gonna go on for 20 minutes and we'll be shaking it up as we go. We're on to our last vegetable that we're gonna put on the grill, radishes. So we've had the jicama on, then we added the onions and the fennel. Here it is. It smells absolutely delicious. I mean, it's a long recipe to time everything out. You can see it's getting a little bit darker here, but it is smelling so absolutely delicious. First thing I'm gonna do though is pull this thing off because we need to add some more broth to these vegetables to make sure they stay nice and moist. I have more here. I'm gonna pour on the radishes. And I have my beef broth, but you can use chicken or vegetable. Just gonna put that on here, drizzle over, especially the radishes, they're going on. Next, I'm gonna add just a little bit more salt and pepper to season it up. Move these things out of the way here. Add that pepper, freshly ground. Sprinkle on with a little bit more salt. Radishes are going on for 10 minutes. Again, just like the other vegetables, periodically I'm gonna come over here and shake it up to make sure everything's evenly distributing. And I've been enjoying a keto mojito. So if you look at this link up here, you can find out and review how to find this drink. It's very tasty. Let me grab my handled things here. We'll throw this back on the grill. Again, 10 minutes and we'll be good. Ready to eat. See you in a few. Great, the grilling is finished. You can see here in our grill pan, everything is ready to go. What I've done while the last radishes were finishing up, I took these fennel fronds and I sprinkled some of them over our radish leaves. So I had taken them out of the salad spinner, chopped them up, put them here on this plate, again sprinkled over the fennel fronds. Now I'm going to dump the vegetables on top of these here. So it's gonna layer right on. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. We'll pick all of those things up in a minute. We're gonna add some salt. And again, it's just some other pepper here. Season it up nice and neat. Add a little bit of the balsamic vinegar. Drizzle that on to your taste. You can add more, you can add less, whatever tastes good to you. And we're ready to go. Enjoy.